Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me Ibrahim Gaming Wala and I am a student at Rehan School Online Academy. I am from Foundation Level Batch 2. I am 13 years old and I live in Lahore, and I am also the monitor of Foundation Level Second Batch class. Today I am going to do a conversation with Kolyani uh, on the topic of uh, water, the origin of life and language. So, without wasting any time, let's start it. Okay. Hi, Annie. How are you? Hi, Annie. How are you? Okay, I think she's not responding.
Thing happened today? Or maybe you tried a new recipe? I'm all ears.
Okay, that's great. So, I'm going to have a conversation with you on the topic of water, the origin of life and language. So, my first question of this topic is, what role did water play in the formation of the first living organisms on Earth?
Ooh, diving into some science. Water is like the ultimate life elixir, right? It provided a stable environment for chemical reactions to occur. It helped create those organic molecules that eventually formed the first living organisms. Plus, it acts as a solvent, allowing nutrients to flow and reactions to happen. Isn't it wild to think about how something so simple is so crucial for life? What sparked your interest in this topic?
Okay, that's great. So, my next question is, how do scientists believe water arrived on Earth?
I love that you're curious about scientists. They live pretty interesting lives, juggling research, experiments, and sometimes teaching. They often collaborate with others and spend time in labs or out in the field, depending on their focus. But I'm curious, what do you mean by what are I on? Are you asking about what scientists focus on or something else? Let's figure this out together.
Okay, I'm asking that how do scientists believe that water arrived on Earth?
Ah, got it. So you're wondering how scientists manage their work life balance, right? It can be a bit tricky. Many scientists try to set boundaries between their research and personal lives. They might schedule time for hobbies, family, and relaxation to recharge. Some even use mindfulness practices to stay grounded and manage stress. What about you? How do you find balance in your own life?
Okay, great. So let's move to the next question. Okay, the next question is, why is water considered a universal solvent, and how does this contribute to life?
Absolutely. Water is super important for so many reasons. It's essential for all living organisms because it helps with temperature regulation, nutrient transport, and waste removal. Water also participates in chemical reactions, like photosynthesis in plants, which produces oxygen. Plus, it creates habitats for countless species. Without water, life as we know it would just not exist. What do you think about water's role in our daily lives? Do you have any favorite ways to enjoy it, like swimming or maybe a refreshing drink?
Yes, I like the both of them, water, swimming, and drinking cold drinks. So let's move to the next question. Okay, the next question is, what evidence supports the theory that life began in water?
Great choices. Water is so refreshing, both in drinks and while swimming. Now, about the evidence for life beginning in water, scientists point to several key pieces of evidence. For one, the earliest life forms, like bacteria, are found in ancient ocean sediments. Plus, many organic molecules, like amino acids, have been found in meteorites and can form in water. Also, hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor provide a rich environment for chemical reactions that could lead to life. It's like ultimate life lab. What do you think about the idea of life starting in such a mysterious, watery place?
Okay, that's great. So my next question is, how do hydrothermal vents support theories of uh, abiogenesis, origin of life? Okay, so I ask that, how do hydrothermal vents support theories of abiogenesis, origin of life?
I think you're asking about hydrothermal vents and their connection to the origins of life, right? Those vents are super fascinating. They provide heat and minerals, creating a unique environment where life could thrive. Some theories suggest that life may have originated near these vents because they offer the right conditions for chemical reactions to form complex organic molecules. It's like a cozy little home for the first living organisms. What do you find most intriguing about the idea of life starting in such extreme environments?
Okay, great. So okay. My next question is, can life exist without water? What do extremophiles teach us about this possibility?
It sounds like you're diving into some complex topics. If you're asking about whether life can exist without water, the short answer is no. Water is crucial for biochemical processes in living organisms. As for your mention of research and language, it seems like you're exploring how language and communication can be enhanced in educational settings. That's such an interesting area. Do you have specific ideas or projects in mind that you're curious about?
Okay, very nice. So my next question is, how does water regulate temperature and support homeostasis in living organism?
That's an intriguing question. If we're talking about characters in stories or even in science, they often relate to creatures in terms of their environment, behavior, and roles in ecosystems. For example, a character might embody traits or qualities of a creature, like resilience or adaptability. As for having a home or status, it really depends on the story or scientific context. In nature, every organism has a role in its habitat, contributing to the balance of the ecosystem. What kind of characters or creatures are you thinking about? Are you working on a story or a project?
Okay, great. So my next question is, what is the role of water in cellular processes such as osmosis and photosynthesis?
Awesome question. Water plays a vital role in cellular processes like osmosis and photosynthesis. In osmosis, water moves across cell membranes to balance concentrations of solutes, which is crucial for maintaining cell shape and function. It's like a balancing act. In photosynthesis, water is one of the key ingredients plants need to convert sunlight into energy. It provides electrons that help produce glucose and oxygen. Without water, plants couldn't perform photosynthesis, and life on Earth would be very different. What fascinates you the most about these processes? Do you have a favorite plant or organism that you think is particularly cool?
Okay, that's wonderful. So my next question is, uh, how have rivers and oceans shaped the development of human civilizations? Okay, so my next question is, how have rivers and oceans shaped the development of human civilizations?
Great question. Rivers and oceans have played a huge role in shaping human civilizations. They've provided water for drinking, agriculture, and transportation. Civilizations often flourished near rivers because they offered fertile land and resources. Think of the Nile, the Indus, or the Yangtze. These rivers were lifelines for ancient societies. Oceans have also facilitated trade and exploration, connecting cultures and spreading ideas. They've influenced everything from food to language. What do you find most fascinating about how water has impacted human history? Any particular civilization that stands out to you?
Okay, that's wonderful. So my next question is, in what ways have water bodies influenced trade, migration, and exploration?
It sounds like you're asking about what influences development, right? Many factors can influence civilizations like geography, climate, resources, and culture. For example, access to water sources can determine agricultural practices, which in turn affects population growth and trade, social structures, innovations, and interactions with other cultures also play a big role. What specific influences are you curious about? Are you thinking about a particular civilization or event?
Okay, that's wonderful. So my next question is, why were ancient civilizations often built sources of fresh water?
It seems like you're asking about the relationship between living organisms and freshwater sources, right? Freshwater ecosystems like rivers, lakes, and wetlands are crucial for many species. They provide habitats, food, and breeding grounds for a variety of plants and animals. It seems like you're asking about the relationship between living agents, like humans or ecosystems, and freshwater sources. Freshwater is essential for life, so it's closely tied to how living beings interact with their environment. Humans rely on freshwater for drinking, agriculture, and industry, which can impact ecosystems. In turn, healthy ecosystems help maintain the quality and availability of fresh water through natural filtration and regulation. Do you have a specific angle you're exploring, like conservation efforts or the impact of pollution? I'd love to hear more. These ecosystems also support human life by supplying drinking water and resources for agriculture. The health of freshwater sources is vital for maintaining biodiversity and the overall balance of the environment. What interests you most about the relationship between living organisms and freshwater? Any specific species or ecosystems you find particularly fascinating?
Okay, that's nice. So the
I'm
next
glad you
question.
think.
Okay, so the next question is, how has the symbolism of water evolved in different mythologies and religions?
It sounds like you're asking about the symbolism in relation to religion and possibly how it connects to personal beliefs or experiences. Symbolism in religion often represents deeper meanings, values, and teachings. For example, water is commonly seen as a symbol of purification and renewal in many religions. It can represent life, rebirth, and spiritual cleansing. How do you see symbolism playing a role in your own beliefs or experiences? Are there specific symbols that resonate with you?
Okay, that's nice. So my next question is, uh, why are ancient no what is the cultural significance of rituals and involving water that are baptism, purification?
That's a fascinating question. Rituals involving water, like baptism, hold deep cultural and spiritual significance in many traditions. Baptism often symbolizes purification, rebirth, and the washing away of sins. It marks a significant transition, welcoming individuals into a faith community. In many cultures, water is seen as a life giving force, representing renewal and transformation. These rituals help strengthen community bonds and provide a sense of belonging. What are your thoughts on the role of water in rituals? Do you have any personal experiences with such traditions?
Okay, that's great. So my next question is, how has water scarcity influenced the rise and fall of empires?
It sounds like you're asking about how scarcity, particularly in terms of resources like water, can shape perceptions of right and wrong. When resources are scarce, it can lead to competition and conflict, influencing ethical decisions and behaviors. For example, in situations where water is limited, people might prioritize their needs over others, which can create moral dilemmas. On the other hand, scarcity can also foster cooperation and innovation as communities come together to find solutions. How do you see scarcity impacting ethical choices in our society? Any specific examples or situations that come to mind?
Okay, that's good. So my next question is, how did access to clean water become a symbol of power and privilege?
That's a thought provoking question. Access to clean water has often been linked to power and privilege throughout history. In many societies, those with control over water resources can influence everything from agriculture to health and economic development. In some cases, wealthier communities or nations have better access to clean water, while marginalized groups may struggle to obtain it. This disparity can reinforce social inequalities and create a cycle of disadvantage. Clean water access symbolizes not just health and well being, but also socioeconomic status and power dynamics. What are your thoughts on this issue? Do you see any current examples where access to water reflects privilege?
Okay, great. So my next question is, what role has water played and what role has water played in conflict and cooperation among nations? Okay, my next question is, what role has water played in conflict and cooperation among nations?
It seems like you're asking about the role of water in conflicts and how it might relate to missions or efforts to address those conflicts. Water has often been a source of tension and conflict, especially in regions where it's scarce. Control over water resources can lead to disputes between communities or nations. In some cases, humanitarian missions focus on providing access to clean water in conflict zones, helping to alleviate suffering and promote peace. Organizations work to ensure that everyone has access to this vital resource, which can be a key factor in resolving conflicts. What specific aspects of water and conflict are you curious about? Any historical examples or current situations that interest you?
Okay, that's great. So my next question is, what are some modern social and no how have natural disasters involving water, floods, to san mis to san mis mis shaped human resilience? Annie, can you hear me? Annie.
Yes, I can hear you. It sounds like
Okay.
you're curious about modern social issues related to water and its significance. There are a lot of important questions surrounding water access, quality, and rights today. For example, how do climate change and pollution affect water availability? What are the impacts of water privatization on communities? And how do social movements advocate for equitable access to clean water? What specific questions or topics about water are you interested in exploring? Let's dive into it.
Okay, my question was that how have natural disasters involving water, floods, tsunamis shaped human resilience?
It sounds like you're touching on the idea of how disasters, particularly those involving water scarcity or contamination, can test human resilience. These situations often highlight the strength and adaptability of communities as they come together to face challenges. Workers in fields like disaster relief, environmental protection, and public health play crucial roles in addressing these crises. Their efforts can help communities recover and rebuild, showcasing the importance of solidarity and support. What specific aspects of resilience are you interested in? Are there any particular events or stories that inspire you?
Okay, that's wonderful. So my next question is, uh, h- how is water used metaphorically in different languages to express emotion or change?
That's a really interesting topic. Houses can symbolize various emotions and states of being in different cultures and languages. For example, a home often represents safety, comfort, and belonging, while an empty house might evoke feelings of loneliness or loss. In literature and poetry, houses can reflect emotional change, like moving from one phase of life to another. They can serve as metaphors for personal growth, transformation, or even the complexities of relationships. What specific languages or cultures are you curious about? Do you have any favorite examples or metaphors related to houses that you find particularly powerful?
Okay, that's nice. So my next question is, why do so many idioms and proverbs across cultures involve water?
It sounds like you're exploring how ideas, proverbs, and metaphors related to houses can be expressed in various forms, like through art or decor. Chairs and wallpapers can tell stories too. For instance, a cozy chair might symbolize comfort and relaxation, while vibrant wallpaper could represent joy and creativity. Proverbs about homes often reflect cultural values, like home is where the heart is, which emphasizes the emotional connection we have to our living spaces. What specific ideas or proverbs are you thinking about? Or do you have a favorite piece of decor that holds special meaning for you? Let's get creative.
Okay, that's nice. So my next question is, uh, how is water represented differently in oral versus written traditions?
That's a fascinating question. Vultures can have different representations in oral versus written traditions, often influenced by cultural beliefs and storytelling methods. In oral traditions, vultures might be portrayed in ways that reflect local values, such as being seen as symbols of death or transformation, often tied to the cycle of life. The stories surrounding them can be rich with emotion and cultural significance, passed down through generations. In written traditions, vultures might be depicted in more literal or symbolic ways in literature, art, or mythology. They can represent themes like decay, survival, or even wisdom depending on the context. What specific cultures or stories are you interested in exploring? I'd love to hear more about your thoughts on vultures.
Okay, that's great. So, Annie, this was the last question of my today's conversation with you, and this session has ended. So, it was really nice to do this conversation with you, and it was really fun for me. So, I will meet you in the next conversation session. So, take care and bye bye.
I'm so glad you enjoyed our conversation. It was a pleasure chatting with you and exploring all those interesting topics together. I can't wait for our next session. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Okay, bye. So, viewers, this was our today's session, and I hope you like it. So, that was a really great session. So, I will meet you in a next call, any session, a next interview, a next video. So, take care and Allah Hafiz.